So, a big talking point or argument of supply side economists, commonly known as right wing economists, is the notion of the Laffer curve. Well, I'm here to tell you that most of the arguments of the Laffer curve are false. Well, I won't even say most. The idea that lowering tax rates brings in more government revenue is what is false. And I think that is the main point of the Laffer curve. Aside from the general argument that if you have tax rates that are too high, then the government does get less in revenues. That can be true for many different reasons. But specifically, what I'm referring to is the idea that you get outright higher government revenues from higher economic growth. So the notion behind that argument is the idea that when you have economic growth, companies make more money. And when they make more money, well, the government gets more money because 20 or 30% of 150 is greater than 20 or 30% of 100. But that's not the way it works. People, I would say most people, and I would also say most professional economists, presume that a growing economy makes companies earn more money. It does not. It absolutely does not. A growing economy consists of a greater amount of physical goods and services. A growing economy doesn't result in more money. Companies don't produce money. They produce goods and services. So no matter how fast an economy grows, it does not get more money. There's no source for that. The only source is the government central bank. So what happens is companies do earn more money while we have economic growth because the government simultaneously prints money at the same time that companies are producing more goods and services. But it's not the economic growth that makes companies earn more money. It's two different things. So economic growth, if you lower tax rates and stimulate economic growth, which it will, lowering tax rates will stimulate physical production, but it increases the amount of goods and services per capita. It does not increase total incomes since there's no new and additional money. So what's really happening is they're just referring to the inflation bringing higher revenues, but the economic growth did not do that. So the Laffer curve is wrong in arguing that greater economic growth results in greater government, in more government revenue, as though that's a good thing, by the way. It's not. But that is not what happens. So that is the story.